In today's Busting Indie Myths number 2, we want to address the oft-heard Scottish nationalist claim that Scotland is too wee, too poor, and too stupid to be independent. Of course, they pretend that's what unionists say, but the only people who are actually saying that are in fact the Scottish nationalists. They're putting out a straw man argument. They're talking about nonsense and putting it upon their opponents. In some ways, they're projecting themselves onto their opponents, because none of the unionist people have ever said such a thing, nor would anybody ever say such a thing, nor would anybody ever believe such a thing. Nobody is saying such a thing other than the Scottish National Party and its supporters. And to this foolishness, we simply point out that Scotland is big enough and Scotland is rich enough and Scotland is clever enough to share its wealth and to share its resources with the rest of our family throughout these islands. And you know, we don't want to hoard our wealth. If Scotland is rich, then we share it with the rest of the United Kingdom. We understand Scotland is rich enough to share its resources. It's big enough to share its resources. It's clever enough to share its wealth and resources with the rest of the United Kingdom. That's the point of being in a union. So whenever you hear a Scottish nationalist saying something like that, remind them we're big enough, we're rich enough, and we're clever enough to share our wealth and resources, and we're clever enough to stay in the UK. And on that point, you know, why are supporters of Scottish nationalism upset if money or wealth is going to the rest of the United Kingdom? You know, many of us cannot fathom that attitude. Surely it should be a matter of pride that we're helping our family throughout the rest of the United Kingdom and that they're often able to help us as well. That's what being in a union is meant to be about. That's what it's meant to be about. Sharing and being together in order to benefit from association. And it's almost like we've called it an inferiority theme. And the SNP do promote inferiority themes like that. We're being ignored. Nobody's listening to us. Nobody wants to talk to us in Westminster. We're all alone. It's like an inferiority complex almost. And that, what I just talked about, that lie about the too wee thing, too poor thing, that comes from like a sort of inferiority sense. They should recognise that and not talk like that. Not talk like that. You have to talk big. Talk up. Talk things up, you know? If you believe in Scotland, you talk it up. Which is what we as unionists do.